And here we are back again with ForeverFootballShow.com, the most interactive show in the internet, every Sunday, 5 p.m. from Georgian Dragon and from many other points in the city. We've been moving around lately, so that's a good thing. And you can watch us online. You can see the best goals, the highlights of the week in the playlist, in the YouTube playlist, right on our homepage at ForeverFootballShow.com. We ended the last chapter, the last segment, talking about Inter Milan and the final against the final in FIFA tournament that could be against Inter Milan or Internacional from Brazil. But you have to remember, there's also Pachuca there, another Mexican team, and let's see, this time around, could it be that it's the first time that it's not going to be a final between Europe and South America, and maybe the Mexican team squeeze in, or even some of the teams from the United Emirates?
I don't think so.
I don't even think
it's
so.
It's an Inter game again.
I think it's going to be an Inter game. I think if they come out like playing and now they know that they won't give those team a chance to be there. I think
I remember there was an international tournament that Inter Milan and Inter from Brazil played in Abu Dhabi. It was right after Inter had won the FIFA tournament against Barcelona. It was the start of the following season, and they played. It was a tournament, but it was more of a season started warm up. But Internacional beat Inter Milan there as well.
Yeah, we'll see, but you don't have to forget something, that Inter Milan this year, so they're very close to Barcelona, because yesterday they played versus Roma and they won the Super Cup in Italy. Actually, it was a 3-1. Samuel Eto'o scored twice, but the score is not honest, because
it was a massacre.
No, it was not. Absolutely not. Roma just gave the first goal as a gift to Inter Milan.
And the third as well.
Yeah, and the third as well. Roma is showing that they are not good as Inter Milan. But what I'm trying to say here is that Inter Milan now is a 4 out of 6. They are going to play next Friday with Atletico Madrid for the European Super Cup. Then it will be 5 out of 6. And then if they win the World Cup with international,
they can tie Barcelona with 6 titles.
6 titles, and then we'll be that's so close now. They're very close, and they have all.
Where's the final of the Super Cup?
Will be in Monaco usually, so it's just the same day when they draft for the Champions League. So, and I think they have pretty good chance now to win also the Super Cup, even though Forlan said that he want to beat Inter Milan.
But look, watching the game Inter versus Rome, it was beautiful. Even though as you said, the Rome defense got distracted a couple of times and missed goals, but it shows that the level of concentration that players like Schneider, Eto'o, Milito, they came back with the same level of concentration as they finished the season last year.
They are just wonderful players, and I'm just a little bit disappointed with Italian journalists, because at the end of the match, the only question they were able to ask the players was, what do you think about Benitez? He's good as Mourinho, and it's not right, because Benitez, we know that he's a very good coach. He won Champions League with Liverpool. He plays in a different way than Mourinho, and the other thing that shows that is Eto'o was able to score twice, and with Mourinho, Eto'o was playing as a defender.
I think there's going to be new flavor and new sauces in that team. Lucio, brilliant in the second goal, brilliant play, working as a right midfield, left midfield. He was playing as if it was Robin,
he likes,
side to side to
side. As I do that, he likes to do that. He likes to do that.
It was a
to add adventure in the attack sometimes.
He's a very good player, but and you have also to consider that Inter Milan didn't sell any player except for Balotelli, which is one that really didn't get along very well with all the other players. And today I was just reading right now that Inter is very close to Kuit, so they want to buy Kuit, and I think it's and they're not going to sell Maicon anymore to Real Madrid. So
they have a very strong team.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing about the game was all the booing to Adriano, the ex-Inter Milan guy who went to play for Rome and didn't play very well yet.
Some doubt about him. So the only thing that I'm really disappointed with Inter Milano, if you look at the roster, so in the field there were 11 players from other countries, no one Italians. So I guess the name international
It goes well with that team, right?
Absolutely.
Well, it goes well with any team.
Same thing with the Internacional from Brazil, who have 4 Argentines in the roster.
Really?
Yeah.
The Internacional has 4 Argentinians in the roster too.
Guianzu,
I think
D'Alessandro, very good players.
I think it's the team that has more international in Brazil right now.
Probably.
Even though we don't go, you guys go looking for more internationals than we do, because we have a whole culture of keeping our players and keeping until when we can, because then you guys come and pick them up for you guys.
Talking about keeping players, the big news, bombastic news in all over the world this week was Neymar refusing a proposal from Chelsea and staying with Santos. A lot of lobbying from everyone in the club and in the national team, asking him to stay and develop his soccer playing in Brazil, which I think is great, because these young players, they leave Brazil and they don't finish developing the Brazilian style of play, and they end up acquiring the more European style of play, which resulted in Brazil playing like any other European team in the last World Cup.
Yeah, I think
even if it's another 2 years, I'm glad already.
I don't know if you noticed, Alberto, that you're Brazilian like me, but I think and what I've seen and I've read before, we're trying for this 4 years that we're going to host the World Cup, and of course trying to win the World Cup. We're trying to keep our players in Brazil, and not just keep it, but we're trying to bring them back to Brazil too. The ones that we have,
build that connection with the fans, and
bring that connection with the fan, because we have, we have a history of selling players more than any other country, because we have so many. And science it is that our league is mostly Brazilians, and like you said, it's what has happened with Internacional now of having 4 Argentinians is kind of like awkward. It doesn't happen too much. But what we're trying to do for this World Cup, and I think that's what the federation is trying to work, is let's try to keep it. Just happened with Neymar. Let's try to keep it over here. Let's try to build it over here and put our team from here this time.
I was there, Brazil versus US, and Manu was talking exactly about that.
Talking to Manu, and
Manu was saying exactly that in the interviews, and in off he was saying that he wants to be able to first of all have the players develop all the way to
the World Cup, and not have stage,
and connect to the fans.
That's what I think what Brazil is trying to do, and I think it's a great idea. Trying to let's build it from what we have in Brazil, instead of now bringing the players from Europe that we sell then put in a team. I think we would have a much strong team.
Now, talking about Neymar refusing Chelsea, let's go for a break, and when we come back we'll talk about the EPL and Chelsea dominating the EPL with 12 goals in 2 games. Stay with us at foreverfootballshow.com.